And joining us today on our Book Talk segment, great to welcome a woman who has written several best-selling books, and the latest one is just coming out this week. It's called Crash and Burn, a great thriller mystery novel. We're joined today by Lisa Gardner today on the telephone. And Lisa, good to talk with you. How are you today?
It's fine. Thank you very much, Doug.
I know you're based up in New England, so I guess you're happier than maybe many people are today.
I will say the game went last night exactly how I would have written it, down to the nail-biting ending.
You planned that interception.
Oh, that was amazing. It really was. That's good suspense right there.
Yeah, well, congratulations to your pay. I can't say I'm a Patriot fan, but congratulations to them.
Thank you.
Great season to them. But congratulations to you as well for this book. I know the last one out, Fear Nothing, did so well, and this one is just coming out this week. Talk a little bit about the plot line.
So Crash and Burn opens with Nikki Frank. Her car plunges down a ravine at a dark and stormy night. She frantically crawls her way back to the top roadside, desperate to find help for her missing child, Vero, only to have her husband arrive and say there is no such child and they've never had kids and Vero does not exist.
And the fun begins from there.
Exactly.
That's a great premise. Just reading the note, I wanted you to say it because I don't want to give away anything, but that's a great premise for a book. When you write these types of books, Lisa, how do you kind of go about it? Do they kind of come to you, these ideas, or how do you go about it?
Well, most of my suspense novels start with something ripped from the headlines, and it's very appropriate to talk about Crash and Burn the day after the Super Bowl, because the book started by actually researching post-concussive syndrome in football players. It's been a very topical issue for the NFL, and multiple issues of brain trauma, such as a concussion, taking a blow to the head, has a very exponential effect. And it's not just physical harm, but one of the things that fascinated me about post-concussive syndrome is that someone's very personality can change. The mild-mannered person has now rage impulse control problems. Your memory can be shot. You have problems recognizing people you've known your entire life. Your problem-solving skills erode. So I came up with the idea for Nikki Frank, a woman who's had 3 accidents in 6 months, basically suffers now from post-concussive syndrome. She has a team of medical professionals that verify her husband's account. She's taken one too many blows to the head, and yet she would swear to you these memories are so real that somewhere out there has got to be this little girl, Vero. So it's very much about her own journey of, okay, yes, she has taken one too many hits to the head, but still, something is not right in her life.
Yeah, that is a scary thing. I mean, obviously, in the sports world, we're hearing about it, but obviously it's not just the people in sports that can get this type of injury. So it affects a lot of people, doesn't it?
Yes, and in her case, it's like she had to fall down a flight of stairs doing laundry, all these domestic things, which of course get the police interested because, she's very isolated. It's just her and her husband. He claims, they're this great loving couple. She has a tendency to refer to him as what's his name. So there's a lot of red flags that things in this family aren't all as they appear.
They say you do a lot of research when you write your novels. I guess you got to do some medical research as well, just to get the symptoms correct and what people go through, right?
Yes, I actually worked with another thriller writer, C.J. Lyons, who is also a doctor. She helped me with the medical details. But Crash and Burn opens with a crash, as you might guess from the title, and I also worked with an auto accident reconstructionist, which is really a fascinating piece of forensics. These are the guys that come in after the fact and looking at, brake marks and tire rubber marks and scratches and dents here. And all cars pretty much have a computer now, very similar to an airplane's black box.
Right.
Really can reconstruct down to the tiniest detail what happened in those last few moments of impact.
When you put together an idea for a novel, are you the kind of author that writes out maybe a 6-7 page outline of the whole plot, or do you kind of start with the idea and then kind of see where it goes on its own?
I'm what they do call the out-of-the-mist writer. I spend a lot of time on Crash and Burn on this concussion syndrome for Nikki Frank, an auto accident that the forensics could go kind of either way on. But then I really want to just see for myself where the book's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
So when readers talk about, I never knew what was going to happen next, it's always like, well, neither did I. That becomes the writing process. I have a woman with a lot of questions. I have a husband who seems loving but also seems suspicious. I have a girl who may or may not exist. And then the adventure for me becomes showing up each morning to write to see if I can't figure out what exactly is going on with this family.
So you've had, and I've asked other authors this, you've had the experience where a character may go different than you originally planned as you write?
Yes, absolutely. Characters can be very pesky, it's true.
Now about dialogue. Do you like writing dialogue?
Yes, I write very action-based books, so a lot of dialogue, a lot of action, from a lot of police procedure. I worked with a New Hampshire detective on this novel and what techniques they would use to try to answer some of these questions. And, Nikki, at a certain point, is playing investigator. I mean, she would swear she did have a kid, so rather than argue about it, what are ways she could research that? What are ways that she could try to prove that that actually happened? Mm. And I think, seeing people take a lot of action and take a lot of steps in the book, keeps the pages turning.
Sure. I guess the challenge is, adept at writing mystery novels, to come up with different type of mysteries. You would think after a while that it would be tough to come up with a new twist, but I guess not.
I think the real world remains stranger than fiction, and, to the extent that I keep reading real-life crimes and attending things like the Writers' Police Academy, where writers can work with real-world law enforcement personnel and talk to them about their cases and some of the latest developments in forensics. I don't know. There's always a great new idea out there.
Yeah, and people love these types. I mean, look at what's on television. People love those types of crime shows and the novels that you write, and this one is, I'm sure, going to be as successful as the previous ones. It's, again, called Crash and Burn. Lisa Gardner has been our guest. And do you have a specific website you want to get out, Lisa? People can get a hold of you if they like?
Absolutely. I encourage readers to check out lisagardner.com. Follow me on Facebook at Lisa Gardner Books, where you can also enter the Kill a Friend, Name a Buddy sweepstakes, and nominate the person of your choice to die in my next novel.
Oh, great. That's fun. Lisa, pleasure to talk to you. Again, congratulations on the books and on your Patriots. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much, Doug.
If you'd like to order the book we're talking about, please go to DougMilesMedia.com and enter the author's name in the Amazon search box. Thank you for listening. Please come back soon for more conversations here at DougMilesMedia.com. This has been a presentation of Doug Miles Media, all rights reserved. You can listen to or download previous programs at iTunes, Stitcher.com, or DougMilesMedia.com.